Tuungane sote na tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Wow, that is a beautiful anthem for Africa. We have begun with that beautiful anthem for Africa. It defines us, sons and daughters of Africa. The sun and the sky defines us. The people of the sun, the people of the bright sun of Africa that defines us. Africa that makes us daughters and sons of Africa. Rise up and unite. That is the song. My name is Katom Kasam, also Ugandan and an African interested in issues, development, progress, human rights, critical thinking, and empowerment. This is Humanist TV Africa, and I want to encourage you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, but also our Facebook page at Humanist TV Africa. Please subscribe. Go and hit that subscription dial and be able to watch hundreds of our beautiful, entertaining, empowering, inspiring, motivating, educating shows right here at Humanist TV Africa. My name is Katom Kasa, and I want to encourage you to write to us. Write to us at info@humanistv.com, info@humanisttvafrica.com. That is our email. But also send us your WhatsApp. Send us a message on our WhatsApp. And our WhatsApp is +254 7473 56767. Our communication officers are going to be able to talk with you and give you a chance to work with us. We are looking for volunteers. We are a registered NGO that works across the world. We are not only based in Africa, we are based worldwide. We have studios in Uganda, studios in Kenya, we have studios in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, and we have studios in the UK, we have studios in the US, and we are opening up more studios in the US and the UK and Europe at large. We want to open up studios in India, we want to open up studios in Japan and other European countries. So if you are there and you want to work with a humanist network, please write us and we shall give you a platform to join us and work with us. We are all Africans. We began with that anthem for Africa, to tell you that all of us are important people and we are Africans. Today, we are going to be talking about Africa, but also using our competitive advantage to empower people. How can we use Africa as a competitive advantage to empower the people in Africa? Why did we start Human Study Africa? Among others, to redefine the image of ourselves, first as a people in Africa, but also as a people in the world. Part of the objective is to give you a right picture of the real Africa that they don't show you on mainstream media. They are promoting a narration that Africa is dying. People are dying. People are so poor. People are very unhappy. They are diseased. They are telling you a lie because it serves them to tell you that lie. They are telling you Africa is dying because it serves them to tell you that Africa is dying. It serves them to tell that Africa is poor. Africa is not poor. In fact, African countries, many of them are richer than many European countries. Many African countries, I should repeat, are richer than many European countries. But what do they tell you? They tell you Africa is poor, Africans are dying, and basically many Africans are living longer in Africa, and actually are living happily in Africa, regardless of the few challenges of people that are affected by politics of the day, bad politics. Largely, Africa is peaceful, and largely, Africa is prospering, and largely, people in Africa are happy people. They may lack the cash because we want to measure happiness with money, but they have the resources to survive. That's why they can be hit by Ebola and they survive. That's why they can be hit by cholera and they survive. That's why they can be hit by all these plagues, all these viruses, and they still survive, including the coronavirus. Still, Africans survive. Why? Africa has a unique advantage that offers people in Africa. Africa has the best climate in the world. Take it, leave it. Africa has the best climate in the world. The climate alone is medicine to people in Africa, is medicine to people in Africa. The sun alone provides medicine to the people in Africa. Go research it and find out the benefits of having the sun hovering over you for 12 months. The sun alone is medicinal to people in Africa. The plants alone, the vegetation, the green vegetation, the forests, the trees we have are medicinal to people in Africa. The food we have, the natural food we have, the food we simply pick from our gardens, not bought in supermarkets, but from our gardens, is medicine to people in Africa. That's why people in Africa can be able to eat healthy food, natural food, raw food, food from our gardens, straight from the garden. That food is more healthy. So, Africa is dying? No. They are selling their lies because they want you to feel bad about yourselves. Like, oh, people in Africa are poor, people in Africa dying, there's too much war. Yes, there may be conflicts there and there, but people in Africa are not that dying, are not that desperate. They have been living without these technologies. They have been living and living a very happy life, a modest, happy life. So in this show, I usually tell you the competitive advantage Africa has over other continents and why we must harness it. Number one, the environment. Number two, our beautiful, fertile soils must not be tampered with. We must keep our soils intact, free from all these pesticides. If we can protect our soils, we are going to avoid food slavery, which is another scheme to make people poor by denying them access to food. Make people lack food, they are going to beg you because they must eat. Now, we must protect our soils. We must protect the fertility of our soil because that is our number one advantage. Africa can feed the world by the food coming from Africa. Zimbabwe used to be a food basket. Zambia used to be a food basket, feeding so many countries, not only in Africa, but in the world. Uganda used to be a food basket, feeding countries in the region. My country, Uganda, could feed Kenya at one point because Uganda has some of the best soils in the world. Now, what is the advantage of Africa? It is within our soils, it is within our environment, it is within our natural resources. We have all these resources going for us. How do we use them? Why do we allow other people to come to Africa and use our resources at the expense of the people in Africa? That's why we say politics is making Africa crazy. Politics is making Africa look bad because of the politics of the day, which doesn't allow people in Africa to benefit from their own toil, from their own resources, from their own environment. Regardless of that, we must inspire people that are in Africa to make use of what is available. Before you look far, please make use of what is available because many other people elsewhere lack what you have. Now, in this program, I usually do one thing: motivate people in Africa, showcase to you what you have, and inspire you to use it. But also, I use this show to invite people outside Africa, people in Europe, people in the US, people in Asia, to come and invest in Africa. Why? We need investors. If they can come and invest in Africa, trust me, they are going to get richer as we are going to get rich. I rather have a factory in my village, a factory that makes tomato sauce. If I could get this in my village where I built my school, if I could put there a factory that makes use of my mangoes, a factory that makes use of my onion, my tomatoes, my people in my village, in my sub-county would get richer and richer, but also the investor would get richer. It will be a win-win. So we use this program to showcase what is in Africa and how Asians can come to Africa and utilize what is in Africa to their advantage, but also to our advantage. How Europeans can come to Africa, utilize what is in Africa, and it's a win-win. We want fair trade. We don't want aid. I always say this. We don't want your aid. We want fair trade. Why? Because you have the best resources you don't have. Now, don't cheat us. Don't give us your aid and you take our resources. Please come, we harness our resources together so that you and us get rich. Don't give us $1 million in aid and you take $20 million in our resources. That is cheating. The mathematics doesn't add up. This message goes to these so-called European countries and US and all these Asian countries where they want to come to Africa, give us aid, and then dupe us with their own companies that are taking massively all the profits from Africa, who are paying people in Africa, and all the benefits go back to Europe, all benefits go back to the US, all benefits go back to Asia. We are saying Africa does not need that kind of trade. You give us aid and you take all that you get from our resources. We are saying, can we have an Africa that works for us? Where you come, you invest, give us fair trade, you trade with us, put this industry in our countries, these factories in our countries, you benefit, we benefit. Mutual trade, respect. It's a win-win call that we are saying, that I'm saying actually in this kind of talk. Africa needs fair trade. Africa does not need your aid. We don't need your handouts. We need fair trade. Come build industries because we have the resources which you don't have. Trust me, we have the resources which you don't have. So come build these industries, build these factories in our own countries, and then all of us benefit. You get the profits, but also we get better wages. We also get better value for our products. It's a win-win. If you can have that kind of trade, Africa is going to benefit because Africa still has the competitive advantage for the best soils, for the best minerals, for the best world reserves. Then I'm calling for photos, and then you shall be able to augment this kind of thing. This is Africa. Then check me off, and then we see the photos now. This is Africa, and in this map, I want to showcase you something important. The equator. I come from Uganda, and the equator passes through my country. Now, why is the equator important? And when you look at this map, you can see the Tropic of Capricorn. You can see the Southern Atlantic Ocean down there. You can also see at the Tropic of Cancer up there. And then you can see Europe up there, the Mediterranean Sea there, the North Atlantic Ocean up there. And then down here, you see the South Atlantic Ocean. Now, why do I show you this map? The prime meridian. Why do I show you this map? First of all, because I come from the equator, I want to show you how important my country is in the equation of development and in the equation of environment. Uganda is strategically located. Number two, I want to show you Ethiopia and why Ethiopia is another important country in the world. Now, Uganda, Ethiopia, look at the equator and then find out how can we utilize this kind of progress, the nature we have, for our own advantage. Do you know that some people go to Uganda to simply go to the equator and see how this line affects the affairs of the world? Dennis, next photos, please. This time much faster. Coke harvest in Ghana. Thank you, Dennis. We have the coke harvest in Ghana. And actually, there are more countries with coke. There are more countries in Africa with coke. Of course, we have coke and in Ghana. We have coke in Tanzania. Of course, we have coke in other countries where it is eminently possible to grow wealth using those very products we have right in Africa. Then let's continue, please, with the photos. The long-horned cattle, yes, then thank you so much, the producer. The long-horned cattle, we have it in Uganda. But remember, when you look at Kemetic history, when you look at the history of old Egypt, ancient Kemet, you will see those long-horned cattle. Those cattle are in Africa, but specifically in my country, Uganda. They are also in Rwanda and a few other countries. Very good meat from the long-horned cattle. Foods in Africa, quite many, and these are all fresh foods. Everyone knows that when you come to Africa, everything is fresh. That's why people there are happy, because basically the food is in plenty much of the time and it's fresh. We used to eat fresh food growing up. Dennis, continue, please. Look at these masgoon huts in Cameroon. Very interesting. Why do I show you this? The masgoon huts in Cameroon. To show you the creativity of Africa. You talk about flat buildings, skyscrapers, and all that. For us, we're going to show you this. Look at ingenuity. Look at the art behind that. Now, when you go to Africa, find such kind of rare art in the villages, then you'll see how different, how unique Africa is as a continent. Look at the wrestling match in Southern Sudan. The people, the Dinka people, love wrestling. They are tall much of the time, but also very, very industrious, very aggressive, very energetic people right there in Southern Sudan. They gather and have this wrestling match. You can see it. That is Africa. Where do you find a wrestling match that is so natural? So natural. People gather in a village and people really wrestle. Not this artificially made wrestling on your cinemas in Europe and US. Artificially generated AI things. This is a very natural way of fighting. People go there and sweat and fight and shake hands. That is Africa. Of course, the tallest people also come from Africa. Actually, the Dinka people there, very tall. The person on my left The one in a brown suit is only 18 years, they say. But look at the height of this guy. It becomes something very good to go to Sudan and meet the tallest people you will ever meet. Then the beautiful ladies of Uganda, that's an emblem of Uganda. That's a national flag for Uganda. She's wrapping herself with, and these are Ugandan ladies. Very interesting people down there in Uganda. Very happy people. Of course, all these beautiful animals. The lions, then it's very fast. All these animals, the lions, the buffaloes, of course, the rhinos, and the camels, all these animals, you find them in Africa, simply about Africa. The elephants, the biggest, largest animal in the world. These animals are in Africa, and we have over 50 national parks that are so good, and game reserves, of course, combined below. These animals are exclusively animals you will find in Africa. The elephants sometimes move in big numbers, the giraffes, and of course the crested crane in Uganda. And then it's very fast, please. The crested crane, the symbol for Uganda. We love the crested crane, very peaceful animal, a big bird, lovely bird there. And of course the zebras, very beautiful animals. You can see the cars for tourists right there. Africa has all this potential where people can go and have a fresh start in life. Look at this tourist face to face with the giant animal, the elephant, right in Africa. Remember, in one of my episodes, I told you where exactly we have these national parks. Uganda has quite a number. Kenya, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Zambia, South Africa, all these countries, Rwanda, have these national parks, and of course they have these animals. You go there and have life with the elephants. You enjoy wildlife with the elephants, and of course palm oil gardens in West Africa, palm oil gardens quite many in West Africa, many of these countries. Tomato growing in Ghana, tomato growing in Uganda. We have lots of tomatoes in East Africa, and tomatoes really are also a good spice to our foods. Papaya. We have papaya in Uganda. We have papaya in different countries in Africa. And papaya is so good. I grew up eating papaya, one of the most fresh fruit you eat. Very lovely, very sweet, and very nutritious. We have, of course, palm oil gardens in Imo State in Nigeria. Nigerians are so rich. Nigerians are so rich. That is the palm oil garden, and other palm garden in Imo State. Nigeria, the Samburu Girl of Kenya, the Samburu Girl of Kenya with their art. Go to Kenya and see how lovely these ladies are when they put on their traditional attire. Onion farming in Uganda, onion farming in many of these countries. This is a farm that actually exists in Africa, very big farms. Onion farming in Uganda. People are doing this farming. You can come invest in Africa and get a lot of money. Employ people, but also get lots of money. Remember, the Botswana people of Botswana, the way they dress, traditional way of dressing. They keep their culture, they love their culture. Nothing is wrong with our culture. Nothing is wrong with dressing like that. Africa is a big continent. Sadly, when you look at the world map, they are showing it to you as if it is small. Let me tell you, Africa is big enough to house China, house India, house the contiguous part of US, of course, take on UK, take on Eastern Europe, Heartland, take on Italy, Ireland, Australia, Greece, all these countries, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, Netherlands, all these countries, you can fit them into Africa and you still get a space. That's how big Africa is. That's how big Africa is. But when they are showing you the world map, they show you as if Africa is very small. And I've been asking them, why do you exaggerate other continents at the expense of showing the true size of Africa? They don't show it to you. Ask them how big Africa is vis-a-vis other countries, other continents. Africa is bigger. And the map should be much fairer to show how big Africa is. This image was made by my sister Linda Tilly. saying she was a Caucasian, grew up in Africa, and served Africa. And her message was in that image that we are one people. Whether you are Caucasian, whether you are black person like me, whether you are Asian, all of us are one people. And our motherland, our cradle is Africa. Come to Africa. My message today is come in Africa with respect. Come in Africa with mutual understanding and give us trade. We don't want your imperialism. We don't want your neocolonialism. We want free trade. We are tired of your narration of saying Africa is dying. Africa is not dying. Africa is much well and alive. Africa is not poor as you progress will show it. In fact, Africa is much richer than many countries in Europe. Africa is the continent, and many countries in Africa are resource-wise richer than many poor countries in Europe. So give Africa respect. Come to Africa to do fair trade. We don't want your aid in Africa, where you give us £1 million and you take away £20 million. We don't want that kind of cheating. We want fair trade. We want respect, where you come and work with people in Africa with good trading agreements, where people in Africa benefit from their resources and also benefit from your investments. Dennis, thank you so much for showing all these images, and of course, viewers, thank you so much for taking advantage of this show. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook page at Humans TV Africa, but also send us an email at info@humanstvafrica.com. Send us a WhatsApp message at +254 7473 56767. And of course, remember to subscribe and remember to keep hope alive. Then we shall close the show by the song, the anthem of Africa, that we are one people, the people of the sun and the people of the sky. We are Africans. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Tuungane sote na tushereke pamoja ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafaraka.